I'm Judith Hiemer Van Wee. I'm a stained glass journeyman and stained glass designer, and we are currently having an exhibit at the Clifton Art Center. We were approached some time ago, several years ago actually, to put together this exhibit in commemoration of the 100th anniversary of the city of Clifton. Our studio has been a long time business here in Clifton, and 4 generations of my family, well actually 5 generations now of my family have lived here. As part of this celebration, we've been commissioned by the Art Center to create a stained glass window, and I've worked closely with Roxanne, Michael, and Jeff in creating a design that reflects the goals of the Clifton Art Center, which is to share art with all of us. So I'm just finishing off a sketch rendering here of a muse with symbols of the arts. And this is going to be a commemorative window in honor of Gloria Kaloja. And it features symbols for the different arts, as well as leaves in different colors suggesting the seasons of the year that the arts can be enjoyed throughout the year. And in the middle is our muse, which will be more highly detailed when drawn in the full-size rendering. It's a piece with a lot of color and vibrancy, and we think it's going to be a nice addition to the Art Center. And this is Linda Eberts. She's a stained glass journeyman, artist, and color selector, and she's doing the full-size rendering of the proposed design for the Clifton Art Center. And this is a special design, don't you think?
Special design of everything that the Art Center has, dance and music.
And who's the little lady in the middle here?
She's what we have created as their
Muse.
Their muse. Yes.
Yeah. Very special. Yeah.
She's very special.
This is a unique design that will be found only at the Art Center.
Exactly. Yep. Next phase will be transferring this to drafting. It's 2 sections, 2 pieces of paper laid down. One is for the patterns. It's laid down, and then
you determine how each piece. Yeah, you'll determine how each piece will be cut out of the
into
glass.
Pieces of glass, and then the top sheet is used as our drafting and glazing sheet, and the bottom sheet is cut up into the patterns, which we select the glass and cut up and put into there, and then it is glazed.
And this is the pattern that Linda had made, as she discussed before. One is kept intact so that we can put the puzzle back together, and the other was cut into pattern pieces, which she's holding right now. And she will select each piece of glass and cut it by hand. In the background there is Mike Lamazzo. He's our shop foreman. He's assisting them with the layout of this window right now. So now we'll demonstrate the cutting of the glass. Is there anything special about your glass cutter?
It's a carbide cutter, which is stronger than the steel, and does a great job.
And you have to keep it oiled so that it functions well, right?
Keep it oiled. We oil it with kerosene, and keeps it going. We just put the pattern down on the glass, and then start. I try to start at the hardest point, the hardest cut. Cut around the pattern. Pick it off. Tap it at the end where where your cutter ended up. And you can see the line as the glass is cutting. Not yet. And we have grossing pliers to gross off any of the pieces of glass that are sticking out. Like this first cut. And the pattern goes back on the glass, line it up, and do the rest of the cuts.
Notice each angle requires a separate stroke with the glass cutter.
This one I can probably cut and make a second cut.
Now you're getting into fancy stuff. Don't try this at home, kids. Now she'll give it to Michael with the pattern piece so he can place it back on the drawing.
Right in there.
And now she'll proceed with the remainder of the pieces.
To the next piece.
This is Matt Aruso. He's a stained glass journeyman, artist and painter here at the studio. And he's currently working on the Clifton Art Center window, the painting phase.
What I'm finishing up here is the matting on the face to give it some volume. And then once I do that, I'll be applying some hair brown, some stain on the collar here to finish off the color. Also then a oil shade to accent the deeper features in the face. And then we'll fire it and the head will be complete. And maybe also some flesh tone on the lips to give that some color.
She needs lipstick, yes.
Yep.
So the pieces have all been painted, and Linda's in the process now of putting it all together.
Next to the last phase.
Yep. So she's using the drawing that she had as her
The glazing drawing.
using one of the templates, so she knows where the pieces go. All the pieces that have been painted are laid out in a tray over here. And as she moves along, she grabs a new piece and begins to put it down. When she gets all the pieces in place and the lead around them, she'll go ahead and solder all the meeting points. Alright, Linda's got the entire panel now put together with all the lead and glass. And now what she's doing is applying flux to each of the solder joints. And then she's going to pick up her hot soldering iron and solder. And she'll start soldering each joint.
Hooks on there.
Once she gets this side done, then with the help of another craftsman, she will flip it over and do the same thing to the other side.
This is Jeff Longfellow, a lifetime craftsman in stained glass craft and stained glass journeyman. And he's going to demonstrate to you the final stage of production in stained glass, the cementing. And one of the most important is cementing. Up until now, this panel has been very flexible, and we now need to make it rigid. So Jeff is applying glazing compound, which he's scrubbing under the lead channel to create a seal between the glass and the lead. And this is just typical window putty that he forces into all the channels. Now he'll take his knife and press down the leads so that it creates a seal. So now when that putty sets up and hardens, the panel will become rigid and will also now be waterproof.
Spreading some fine sawdust over the freshly cemented panel, and we'll push it into the edges of the cane where the excess cement is. Then we'll either brush it and or pick the edge to lift the excess cement off the edges of the cane. And the sawdust, it helps it adhere the excess cement, and when we brush it, it all rolls away and leaves a cleaner cleaner panel. It also helps polish the oils that are on the glass as well. So once that is done, we'll take a more coarse brush and begin to move the sawdust, and you can see there are all the remnants of the excess cement rolling up in the sawdust. And then we go back and get a little more aggressive brush, and because we have folded down the edges of the cane, the brush does not get underneath the cane and remove the cement that we want to remain there for the waterproofing and strengthening of the panel. We've just finished cleaning off the excess cement with our sawdust and coarse bristle brush. Now it's time to remove the final sediments and give a polish to the glass, also removing some of the haze that's on the glass due to the solvents that are in the cement. And we use whiting or calcium carbonate and sprinkle that lightly. A little bit goes a long way over the glass, and we use a softer bristle brush to move the whiting around over the glass, and this process removes the excess cement that is left from the sawdust application, as well as starts to polish the glass from the linseed oil and the mineral spirits that are part of the cement compound. We'll be fairly aggressive with that, and I've finished this end to remove most of that, and then we'll take a clean rag and just remove the light whiting dusting. You see we do pick up some sediment from the cement here as well, but the glass is clean, clear, and polished, and will be ready for installation. Of course, the panel has two sides, and so this is our first application of the cement. Turn the panel over and complete the cementing process from start to finish again on the second side, and then the panel will be ready for installation after it has a couple of days to set up and stiffen for the cementing compound.
Readying the window for installation of the new stained glass.
Yep, today's the big day.
Go, the panel being brought into the Art Center. Carefully handled by two of the installers at Hiemer and Company.
Take your finger and flatten it.
James and Louise for on one side of the molding. And Michael Lamazo, company foreman, securing the other side of the panel. Looks like it fit.